Why Akon City might not succeed. In January 2020, Akon, the famous African-American singer, announced that he will be constructing a futuristic city in Senegal that will beat all human imagination. The news of this project was received with a lot of excitement by Africans, and shortly after he made the announcement, the news made headlines in almost every media outlet in Africa and continues to make headlines to this very day. Akon City is a very ambiguous and ambitious project. If you have watched the movie Black Panther, then you know that the plan is to make Akon City look like Wakanda. However, since the announcement of the project, a lot of conversations have been roving around it, especially on the budget, location, activities, quality and size of the city. Moving on, there are various reasons why these projects might never be realized, and in this video, we will try our best to explain some of the factors that might hinder or stop the smart city's progress, whether temporarily or permanently. But then first, an overview of the city is a good place to start. Overview of Akon City. Akon City will be constructed on 2,000 acres of land in a small village called Mbondiene, 62 miles south of Dakar in Senegal. The project is planned to have large skyscrapers, shopping malls, tech hub, casino, luxury flats, prestigious universities, music studios, and eco-friendly tourist resorts. Akon envisions Akon, a cryptocurrency which he founded, to be the central currency in the city and will function so of renewable energy. The $6 billion worth city will be constructed by Los Angeles-based KE International and Dubai-based Bakri & Associates development consultants. The plan is for the city to be completed in 10 years and upon completion will receive everyone, most especially African Americans. The first phase of the project is expected to be completed by 2023, while the second phase is expected to be completed 6 years later. Since the launching of the project, locals are skeptical that the project might not go forward because since the foundation stone was laid, the site remains a grassland. Well, Akon is not to be blamed for this. Other factors are hindering its progress. Despite the countless benefits of the Smart City project, many challenges remain when it comes to organization due to the unique city's requirements and differing interpretations of placement concepts. The most common challenges of hindrances to this project include technology challenges with coverage and capacity, digital security, legislation and policies, lack of confidence or reluctance shown by citizens, perhaps lack of clarity around benefits, funding and business models, and most importantly, existing infrastructure for energy, water and transportation systems. Very few smart cities have been attempted and are rarely built from scratch. Instead, they are constructed upon existing systems, practices, infrastructure, and organizational structures, which is very unlikely to Akon City, given it is being constructed from scratch and all. Several other factors might hinder these projects from seeing the light of day, but before we dive into this, please take a moment and subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our uploads. Insufficient funds. Yes, of course, we all know funds are extremely important in bringing out a project to reality. But then, this might sound funny and quite controversial. On a grand scale of things, funding the Akon City is no joke, especially given the time frame for the completion of the project. The budget is quite huge and it is quite obvious that without multi-billionaire shareholders willing to pump in millions if not billions of dollars into the project, it might end up being just a bedtime story or more like an African dream, that might never be realized. Making cities smart means developing and deploying smart complex infrastructure or implementing digital technologies. Besides, tons and tons of smart devices have to be integrated for data collection. In addition, to ensure the smart city's success, Akon and his partners have to hire enough tech experts and city planners. Network requirements have to be rightly met, and the hardware installed has to be audited frequently for maintenance. All of this eats up a lot of money. Though $6 billion sound like a lot, it just might not cut it considering the scale of the project. Akon said he had secured $4 billion from the Senegalese government, and it is not yet clear where the rest of the funds will come from. Lack of experienced professionals. Another most pressing challenge for a futuristic city with such a degree of science, technology, and innovation is the lack of skilled and experienced professionals. Tech professionals are necessary for developing a plan for achieving the smart city project success envisioned. Finding areas for technology implementation and operating these tools. If you look at smart cities around the world in perspective, such as Singapore and Pittsburgh, it took decades and trial and error for these cities to turn out the way they are today. All these require the best skills in the world, and considering the fact that a project is being carried out in third world country with extremely low technology and skill, almost the entire team of technicians will have to be imported, thus taking the cost to a top-notch level. The Senegalese people's reproaches and concerns. Senegal barely made it to the first industrial revolution, and the villagers driving horse carts and unpaved roads have met Akon's plans with skepticism. Questions about land rights, financing, and feasibility remain unanswered. However, it appears that Akon, who spent part of his childhood in Senegal before moving to the United States, may have beaten more than he can chew. Unfortunately, constructing an entire district is far more expensive and complicated than the Akon Lighting Africa initiative, a solar power project launched in 2014, which was his first philanthropic venture. Building a smart city in the middle of a very poor and underdeveloped country will be an extremely arduous and difficult task to pull off. Most of Senegalese argue that they don't need a smart city. They rather need their living conditions improved, because what's the point building a city they won't be able to afford living in? Also, it seems like the residents in the area are not even engaged with it, bringing feasibility studies and other necessary procedures under question. There are concerns over the disconnection between Western and Senegalese culture, as well as how the new urban development could affect other business in the region and the consequences that it could have for regular workers. In addition to all other downsides to this smart city project, there have also been some issues regarding land rights. Up until now, there have been no major problems. The problems will arise the moment all the promises and aspirations made to the people by Akon are not kept. All these controversies might be some of the reasons why the project might not pull through. Part of the $6 billion required to build a real-life Wakanda in Senegal was secured by Akon through investors, including Kenyan businessman Julius Mwale, said Paul Martin, director of the project at KE International, an engineering and infrastructure consulting firm. No further details in other investors have been released as of yet. A lot of questions are still roving around the Akon currency and how locals will adapt to the new system of markets, considering their literacy level and ability to understand how cryptocurrencies can be applicable to their daily transactions in markets, transport, and general daily activities. To draw the curtains, Akon City is a wonderful project that every African, both home and abroad, wants to see come to life. But there has been several other amazing projects that were initiated but never came to life, so this video was just trying to point out some possible reasons why Akon City just falls in the same line. There are serious concerns that should be taken into consideration if Akon actually wants to see this project come to fruition. Personally, I can't wait to visit this city, but let's be realistic and make sure all loopholes are covered. Dear explorers, let's continue this conversation in the comments, will we? Do you think Akon will push this project till the end? What measures can Akon take to make sure the projects come to fruition? Let us know your opinions in the comments, and the best comments will be pinned. Thanks for watching this video, and if you enjoyed the video, do well to subscribe, like and share the video with your friends. Until then, au revoir.